Hey guys, welcome back. CALLOUS Draft League Week 4. We are over to the green versus purple matchup. We've got both players on alts, which is hopefully not confusing, but Rose Magnolia is going to be Damflame on the green team on the bottom, and then Cynodin is going to be Vaz on the purple team on the top. As always, if you want to see their draft, there's a link in the description as to how we got here. Let's get into the game. It is just a best of one. So Damflame with a Yama lead, met by an Aerodactyl from Vaz, which is of course going to scare him away. Hidden Power, we can see that is non-choice band damage, hits the Milo, and we've got some switches. Yama on Bliss obviously favors Yama, and Knockoff going to connect with Wheezing there, getting rid of, what do you know it, Leftovers. Sludge Bomb coming down would have been cool from his perspective to poison the Umbreon, but alas, 2 attempts later, that does not happen, and the pursuit there does just 16%, which is not going to do it. And finally, on the third Sludge Bomb, he does find a poison. Wish is floating, but obviously Weezing got the better end of that, and that is a Whiffed Protect on a switch as Aerodactyl comes in, prompting the Milo, and it is just Hidden Power again, doing 40, so Milo may not live another one, and apparently there is no flying resistance for Damflame, which is not where he wants to be. Aerodactyl, if it can just click HP flying for free in this game, is going to have a good time. And so far, that seems to be the case. I mean, Rock Slide there is decent punishment, but Aerodactyl's still definitely getting the better end of this 1v1, and the Protect doesn't really change anything. It just gives him more lefties, but nevertheless, something still has to switch into Hidden Power, and it's going to be Cloyster, taking 37%. So certainly Aerodactyl is going to have some opportunities going forward, given the lack of a flying resist for Damflame on the bottom. Rapid spin there, and then recover. I'm not clear. Yeah, I mean, he got rid of the one layer of spikes. I guess he didn't have anything better to do. Weezing going to narrowly avoid a cross chop, which isn't the biggest deal in the world, but remember, it doesn't have lefties anymore, so any damage does add up. And of course, the Hariyama is still poisoned as well. Cross chop just 23% there. And Sludge Bomb is going to hit another foe. Doesn't poison, but it all adds up. He actually missed an opportunity with another Sludge Bomb that would have killed the Flygon there. Protect for lefties. We know that there's Ice Beam now on the other side, so obviously not interested in taking that. And here is the Wheeze. Bliss comes in. That gets hit with Toxic. And here comes Blastoise, which is going to take Surf without an issue. Despite the fact that it was knocked off, the Weezing seems difficult for Damflame, and the Aerodactyl also seems difficult for Damflame. So I don't know that any player has a clear and blatant advantage right now. Probably close. Maybe I lean a little bit in Vaz's direction, but long term, I think Vaz has some threats that Damflame evidently is having a hard time dealing with. No reason not to Sludge Bomb here yet again. That's a weird rest in my opinion. Kind of premature. He was at like 70-something%. Don't know that he needed to rest there, but obviously the Bliss representing aromatherapy slash heal bell here in order to make that a remotely viable play. Aerodactyl coming in on Sleeping Yama is definitely a play that I can get behind. Kind of surprised that he seemingly doesn't have Double Edge. That would have made a difference there. If he had Double Edge over HP Flying, that little extra bit of damage would have made it a 2-hit KO, whereas HP Flying may or may not have been based on the damage roll. And I think that actually would have been really important there because he doesn't have a normal resist either. So Double Edge would be just a slightly more powerful HP Flying in this context. That turn matters, the fact that the boom is going to specifically connect with the rapid spinner, so that might be the play that gets Damflame back in the game. I think I liked Vaz's position better up until that moment, but now those two spikes are there to stay for the rest of the match. Now it's a little bit more dicey, and I'm not nearly as sold as I was a few moments ago about my opinion that it is Vaz winning this game. That might not be the case anymore. He does stick Umbreon with a choice band as he begins to Calm Mind up, and he's going to be stuck on CB Toxic, which, I mean, yeah, puts a clock on the Alakazam, I suppose. There's Calm Mind number 2. We know that he can only have 2 coverage moves here since he wasted a move slot on stupid Trick. And I guess Ice Punch is going to be the move, perhaps not wanting to click Psychic, fearing that Umbreon would come back in. Alternatively, maybe he doesn't have Psychic, but I don't know. I don't really like Trick on a CM sweeper set. Trick is a fine move, but I think the whole set has to be different if that's the case. If you're going to go CM sweeper, just go CM 3 attacks, in my opinion. Nevertheless, Aromatherapy did get off, so all those status woes are removed. The Weezing's up from its nap. Zam is no longer poisoned, so on and so forth. Firing off some Ice Beams against my Milotic, lack of anything better to do. Fish for a random freeze that would obviously be very good if you were to find it. But so far, not able to do so. And Vaz seemingly doesn't have a fantastic switch into Milotic. The fact that the spikes are there, pretty relevant. But Weezing comes in as the Yama does, and now Aerodactyl comes in against Sleeping Yama, so can just attack again, but not clear what the set is. I'm not sure why Double Edge isn't here, but it seemingly just isn't. Fair enough. I certainly would have Double Edge, but hopefully the Aerodactyl reveals some more moves, and we can piece together the puzzle as to why it's not there. Yama with Whirlwind. Do you guys know that it could learn that? One of the cool little moves that it kind of sort of feels like it shouldn't have, but it has. Getting good value out of it as well. Drags out the Bliss onto the spikes. Obviously, Bliss not super excited to stay against something that might cross-chop. And good thing she didn't, because it was cross-chop, but it missed. Sludge Bomb and Whirlwind. Yama probably going to be afraid of Psychic here. And it is Psychic, which makes it even weirder that it was an Ice Punch earlier, but like I said, that must have simply been anticipating the Umbreon coming into a Psychic. Synchronize makes them both Toxic. I think it's actually just regular poison on Milo rather than bad poison from Toxic. I think that's how it works with Synchronize, but someone can let me know in the comments. It's kind of a weird mechanical thing that doesn't come up very often. But the Umbreon is about to drop, so the lead finally, the tie is broken, and the lead does go to Synodon. That was a risky play that he gets paid off for, getting Aerodactyl in. Had Damflame anticipated that and clicked Rock Slide, it would be a dead arrow, which would be devastating, but sometimes taking risks pays off, and perhaps this is one of those times. So 5-3 now, the lead for Vaz. However, DD Ments in the back for Damflame, and Hidden Power Ice apparently for Weezing, but, well, it was a damage roll, but it barely survives the HP flying, but barely is good enough in this case, and that leaves Damflame in a tough spot with only the Hariyama and the Milotic. If the Ments had killed the Weezing there, totally different game, and the Ments might even clean up the whole damn game from that spot. So that damage roll, whether or not the Weezing lives, may decide the whole damn game. But as it sits, with only the Yama and the Milotic against 5 Pokemon for Vaz, gonna be a tough one for Damflame to find a way to win. And we've got another grindier one here. Sometimes draft games are pretty quick, but this one getting up there. We may even hit 3 figures. Still don't even know the last poke for Vaz, but Alakazam on its last legs here. Might as well click Psychic here. And does. 39%. Might as well Psychic again. Yeah, do something on the way out. And of course Milo is going to recover. Alakazam will die to the poison. Little bit of catch up for Damflame, but still definitely behind. And T-Tar in the back all along. Gonna survive the surf. Dragon Dance here. Here comes Yama to check it, and it is just Rock Slide. So the question is, does the T-Tar have something like Double Edge here? Earthquake good. Cross Chop, imagine missing. So here comes Arrow, which is going to be staring down the only poke. The Milotic going to go for Rock Slide and miss. Fair enough. But Toxic Blissey here should be able to get this done. With the Weezing at a hundo? Oh, that's a weird switch. That's a really weird switch. Why wouldn't you Toxic there? I don't understand the wheezing switch at all. Don't you toxic, PP stall for a while, get the wheezing in, switch back to Bliss. I mean, the whole point of switching in the wheezing sometimes is to make Bliss get away from the toxic that it's going to be facing, since you can't aromatherapy them all away. I don't understand why Synodin, Vaz, isn't clicking toxic. There we go. Gonna miss, but clearly that's what you want to do in this matchup. Obviously you want to make the Milotic Pup refreshes. I don't understand the wheezing switch. Anticipating toxic, I guess, but I think Vaz actually may have just thrown the game. I think he was way too fast and loose with the wheezing. Because now I think Milotic actually wins this 1v1 because Milotic's got 1,000,000 refreshes, 29 of them, whereas the Blissey only has 4 aromatherapies and will be stuck with a toxic that will eventually kill him. So I think Vaz just threw pretty hard, to be honest with you. I think that if he had played this just a little bit tighter, I mean, all that Vaz had to do was aromatherapy once initially to wake up the wheezing, get a toxic going on the Milotic, you switch in the 100% wheezing when you need to into the Milotic, it can eat a surf, not a big deal, and then you just click rest. And if he had proceeded like that and kept that loop going, it would have been slow and grindy, but I believe Vaz would have eventually won this game. But now, even though he's going through the motions, it's basically an inevitability. There's not really a way out of this for Vaz. Little bit of a choke at the end, and Damflame gonna be the beneficiary. Aromatherapy's fine and well, but like I said, there's only 8 of those to begin with. There are far more toxics than there are aromatherapies. I mean, maybe Surf can just get him here and speed it up. Critical hit works for me, but like I said, simply speeds up the inevitable. Kind of a choke, unfortunately, at the end for Vaz, but a lot of the players in this league are newer or more casual, so I don't want to be too hard on anybody. Just want to call it as I see it, but I don't want to harp on him. Everybody makes mistakes. Things happen. A little bit of a tricky late game there, and Damflame is going to catch a break and pull this one back, but it felt like Vaz was in the lead for the good majority of this game, and I certainly thought when he was up 5-2 that Vaz was going to take this one down. I'm super duper curious what the Aerodactyl set was and why it didn't have double edge. I feel like there were a couple of turns in this battle where if it had double edge, it would have really mattered and it would have changed things. So that is one of my big curiosities about this particular game. But that aside, the result is a green victory. Green is really far ahead at this point, really bulldozing over the rest of the competition via a Damflame additional point on the board for that team. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave a thumbs up. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments, as always, and I will see you in the next video.